It's coffee time. I burned my finger and I have hair in my mouth. Oh God. How did that get in there? Was that in the coffee? I don't know about this now. I don't know. Second sip was safe, so we're gonna go with safe. Anyway, going back to what I said first, burned my finger tonight. It was very sad. I haven't burned myself doing something stupid in quite a while. This time it wasn't. My worst moment was quite a few years ago when I turned on the burner to cook something, and I was asked by my friend, hey, is that burner hot? And I just touched it to find out instead of just hovering my... I just straight up went, yep. Burned all of my fingers. That was really the dumbest burn moment of my life. But this one was... I made meatloaf tonight because Sam had never had meatloaf before. And I was like, oh, we should just have some meatloaf and some green beans. That would be good. So I made a meatloaf. And when I was trying to get it out of the pan, I was doing this... And imagine that right here is where the pan is. I was doing this and touched it with my finger. But because I was right in the middle of an action, I was like, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop. So I just didn't. And man, now it hurts real bad. Don't worry, I ran it underwater. And now it's got lots of pretty Vaseline on it. Petroleum jelly, if you will. So it's all shiny and gross. Although I think a lot of it is rubbed off at this point. I hate burns. I hate them so much. But fortunately, I had a friend one time who was in the medical field, and I burned myself, and he made me put my hand into ice cold water and leave it in there for a really long time, which it's odd. It makes the rest of your arm kind of hurt because it's just that shock to your nerves. So leave your hand in the ice cold water for a while, and then when you pull it out, you pat dry the burn area, and then you cover it with petroleum jelly. And that's what I was told to do to keep it from like swelling up, from like turning into a legit blister. So that's what I did tonight. Although I had another step in there where I, instead of just having the ice cold water, I would take one ice cube at a time and just put it on my finger. While we were eating, we were watching Arrow, and I was just sitting there with ice on my finger while we watched it. Sam was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. This is going to be totally fine. And it doesn't even hurt now, which is nice because it stung pretty bad for a while there. But yeah, other than that, no mishaps today that I can think of. No mishaps today. Well, okay, another food mishap was we had lettuce wraps for lunch, and I'm not very good at basically lettuce wraps are like burritos, except you use big lettuce leaves instead of a tortilla. So I'm really bad at getting the lettuce leaves to detach themselves from the head of lettuce. And so I was like, okay, maybe this time I need to just like cut the end, like the bulbous end, off so that they're not attached to anything, right? So I can just be like, whoop, 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 whoop. No, that didn't work either, because sometimes, found this out, sometimes the leaves just kind of like contort on each other and just decide to become one big leaf. And I'm like, no, that's not what I want. And then it rips all the way down the center. We had like two each successful lettuce wraps. And then the rest of the lettuce that I pulled off of there was just like, well, this is going to be difficult. But man, the sauce that went with the lettuce wraps, because I looked up a recipe. I was like, I haven't really had lettuce wraps in a really long time. I should look up like a recipe for it. And this lady suggested making this sauce that I just happened to have everything for. And I was like, all right, I'll go for it. Why not? Man, that sauce was so good. It was so good. Sam was like, it's okay. But I'm realizing that he and I, because we grew up eating very different food, we have very different taste palates. So like for me, something will taste amazing and he's like, yeah, it's all right. And vice versa, which makes it hard. But at the end of the day, we both love food, so it's okay. Oh man, I just played a bunch of Diablo. I haven't played Diablo 3 in forever, but since they did the big patch, I was like, no, I should play some of it. I don't know what it is. It might be the new loot system. I don't know, but it's a lot nicer to play, I think. I also actually really enjoy, I'm going through the story again because I played this through the story when it first came out. And I honestly don't really remember a whole lot of it. And I was like, I'll just play through the story again since it'll feel like a whole new game, even though I know all of the big plot points, right? But I actually prefer playing the story by myself because then when you go to talk to people and get story information, they're always responding to you. So like, one of the things that I really like is depending on what class you play, your reactions to different people are very different. And so when we played through originally, various ones of us would be talking to people and completing the quest for the whole group and all of that. But that created a situation where it wasn't always in your voice, right? Which makes sense because you're with a group. But, you know, they weren't going to take the time to make it so that they are addressing a group when there's a group. It's entirely dependent on which class talks to them first, and then they just respond accordingly to that class. So I actually really I'm playing a Demon Hunter right now because I've never played a Demon Hunter. And I really enjoy interacting with people because they're actually interacting with like my character, not just whoever happened to talk first. So that's been really fun, actually. What's today? Monday? Did not feel like Monday today. I was trying to remember earlier whether or not I had gone to work. I was like, was this Sunday? No, it's Monday. It's definitely Monday. Tomorrow's podcast day. Did not remember any of that. I don't know why. I felt a little bit out of it today, though. For whatever reason. But man, I got a lot of cooking done. All the food turned out pretty good. I think that the lettuce wraps turned out better than the meatloaf. The meatloaf was really dry. And I don't know why. I want to blame my oven, but I feel like that's a cop-out. You know? Like, there's so many times when I use that oven and I'm like, God, I hope that this cooks evenly. And it almost never does. But at the same time, I don't want to just always blame my oven when things aren't the way that I want them to be. Like, I mean, not all of this could have been the oven's fault. That doesn't make sense. That's not... But yeah, man, Arrow, getting so good. Oh, and Hannibal. Oh, man, yesterday... So I didn't make a coffee time yesterday. Yesterday, caught up on Hannibal. Oh my goodness. Apparently the ratings are really low right now. So seriously, if you have any interest in watching Hannibal, you absolutely should. The ways that help the ratings, just watching it on normal TV honestly doesn't help the ratings that much, which is so sad to me. But if you watch it on Hulu, it helps the ratings. If you're able to watch it either on the NBC site or on Hulu. Those are the ways that are going to help affect the ratings. And I don't want it to get canceled. Oh, I'm so sad because I guess they're missing like over 1 million viewers that they had last season, which is crazy to me because I wasn't even interested in watching it until the season was already almost over. So like, for me, the idea of a new season starting and people just aren't watching it blows my mind. So right now it's considered a bubble show, which means that it is in danger of getting canceled because the ratings are so much worse than last season. And I'm like, how is that possible? Because there are billboards all over the place. Like, people knew. People had to have known, right? And it's like I would say, even though I know it's about murders. I know. I would say that it is like the most beautiful show on TV right now. Like, every scene is just beautiful. You're just like, God, there's so much care taken with this show. I don't want to see it canceled. I'll be so sad. Because they want to take it up to Red Dragon. Like, they want this origin story of the whole relationship between Hannibal and Will Graham to actually turn into the Red Dragon story, which is so awesome. I want that so bad. That would be so amazing. But this season so far, great. First 2 episodes, beautiful. So now, just got to catch up on Arrow. Sam and I are watching together. And I'm still behind on Log Horizon. Haven't caught up on that yet. Did catch up on Kuroko. Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, tomorrow we're doing Manga Pod. And the manga is Kuroko no Basuke. So if you want to join us for that, if you're a big Kuroko fan, that could be your first Manga Pod. And hopefully the frame rate won't be butts, because it has been the last like 3 or 4 times we've done it. The frame rate has been so bad. It's like 5 frames per second. It's terrible. I don't know why, like why that is happening, but it's so warm, but the apartment is so warm. So I'm like, oh, I like drinking it, but at the same time, it makes me sweaty. It's been really gross in here. It's not even summer, and it's been so humid in this apartment. But if we leave the door open, then all the traffic noise gets in. If we put the AC on, the AC is so loud. There's just no winning. There's no winning. Although it probably doesn't help that we have 2 huge computers in here. But one day, I'll live somewhere where it is quiet and peaceful and even weathered. Oh, anywho, I'm gonna go, but I hope you guys had an amazing day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Mwah.